More time for Mellis. He's doing a lot of different types of Bay Area representation musically. All right, up next, we actually have we're reverse gentrifying San Francisco. So we have a comedian from New York City. Clap it up for the Northeast New York. Okay. Been living in the Bay, killing it all over comedy clubs, Cobb's, everything in the whole Bay Area. You've seen him on Fox. You've seen him on TV. Now you've seen him on KQED Live. Clap it up for the very funny Joe Hill.
Hey. Give it up for the DJ over there. Show him some love. Over there working. How y'all feeling? Listen, I'm going to get right into it. Where's my parents at? Parents, clap it up right now. I need y'all right now. I'm going through some nightmares here in the Bay. As you know, inflation is hitting our pockets. It's hitting me hard. Daycare is whipping my ass. Let's get that out the way. I got a 15-year-old and a 4-year-old. Yeah, don't woo. Help me with them. I need help. Especially that 4-year-old, man. Daycare, it's $1,400 a month for daycare. And he only go 3 days a week. I know. I'm like, he better be a black belt in dunking by the end of the month. Like, what's going on? And then daycare is one of them things, you know, as a father, you be like, where's the bang for the buck going, right? You pay attention to the signs when you show up to daycare to pick up your kid, and you be like, oh, this is all a scam. Right? As soon as you walk through the door, the first thing you hear is that cough from in the back. That kid needs to be home. Whose son is that? You got to be careful when you're going to pick your kids up. Sometimes you got kids that's trying to leave with you that's not even yours. They just want to go home. I be trying to leave my son. This little white girl grabbed my other hand and tried to scoot out with me and my son. I said, Katie, if you don't get your ass inside, I'm from New York. That's a felony where I come from, girl. And you got to be careful with daycare. Everybody's sick. These kids, they like terrorists. They bring home natural-born diseases every night. Y'all think I'm bullshit? My son came home with something called the hand, foot, and mouth disease. I thought it was fake. I Googled it. It's a real thing. But the symptoms is just straight out, plain simple. Your hand, foot, and your mouth gonna be jacked up. Like, it's like you're gonna have the chickenpox cousin all over your body. It's crazy. And it's Mother's Day, right? It's Mother's Day weekend. Clap it up for all the moms in here. That's right. That's right. I had my mom come visit me in the Bay recently, man. And it's interesting because when your parents come visit you or, you know, stay with you under your rules, your house, it's a different mind thing that happens with you because you start to think about when you was a kid. I'm raised in the Bronx, New York, born and raised. I had a single black mother, 3 boys. Single mother. I know she watching right now. She gonna whoop my ass after I tell this joke. Single, strong black mother. So a lot of times you would just be coming into stuff and you come into the house one day and she just look at you and just say something like, you know, I brought you in this world. I'll take you the hell out. And I'm like, I'm 10. Why are you telling me this right now? Who hurt you? What's going on? So, you know, I'm thinking about that, and especially little things like, you know, you couldn't have company in New York City. You know, mom's like, no, you don't gotta have no company. No video games. I'm like, what is this, a concentration camp? Why we can't play video games around here? You try to stay over somebody's house? She's like, you can't do that. You got a bed right upstairs. What you need to stay over somebody's house for? So when she said she coming to the Bay to see the kids, I said, dang, this is my time to get her back. I don't know how, but I got to do this, right? I got to do this. First night, too, she come knocking on my door, late night, knocking. Hey, baby, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm going into the city to hang out with some friends. Do you mind if I get a spare key? I said, whoa, I had to come out my room and close my door. I said, hold on a second. Let's just get under a little stand-in real quick before you hang out with your little friends. Right? Because that's how you used to do to us, your little friends. First of all, we don't give out keys to strangers. You just got here just a couple days ago, okay? Second of all, you need to be home when that street light come on in Berkeley, right there. Good night, and I slammed the door in her face and went to bed. She was mad, too. Couple nights later, here she comes. She come knocking again. She knocking. And if you familiar with the Bay, you know that wind chill factor come off that water, and it get a little chilly in the Bay. She come knocking. She like, hey, baby, it's a little chilly in the front of the house. Do you mind cutting the pilot on and heating up the house? I said, whoa. Let's just get an understanding of shit real quick. First of all, we don't put the thermostat past 50 degrees on the West Coast. Okay? And honestly, if you cold or something, you need to put a hoodie on and some socks and go in the front room. Good night, and I slammed the door in her face again. I said, I know she mad. So now it's like her last night. You know, I'm getting ready to take her back to the airport. We ride in the car. She quiet, y'all. Like her feelings is hurting. I'm like, man. I'm like, you all right over there? She's like, yeah, I'm all right, you know. I had fun in the Bay. I got to see my grands and the family. But I just felt limited the whole time I was out here. I felt like I couldn't be myself. And I knew where she was going, and I had to stop her in her track. I said, hold on a second now. I stopped the car, put it in park. I said, hold on. Let me explain something to you. I brought you in the Bay, and I'll take you the hell out. My name is Joe Hill. Y'all have a good night.
Time for Joe Hill, everybody.
Hey.
One more time for Joe Hill. As I mentioned, from New York, lives in the Bay. We're doing the opposite whole thing.
Yes, sir.
I like my flat top better, but
You look like J. Cole. Anybody ever told you that?
No. J. Cole's biracial. Don't do that to me.
Okay.
I'm just East African. Anyways, from New York, live in the Bay.
Yeah.
All right. I love both places. I feel very blessed. Oakland and Brooklyn, there's a connection. There's a few cities. But what are some things you miss about New York the most now that you've been in the Bay for so long?
Honestly, just the hometown love. You know, when you go home, you see your friends and family and things like that. A lot of time being across the country, some people see it as like a thing you being away. But I think with growth and life, just missing those old things. But growth is good. So being on the West Coast has been one of the best things in my life, honestly. So
Yeah, nobody can gas you up better than your third cousin.
Exactly.
You know, be like, yo, big man.
Exactly.
No, that's real. One more time for Joe Hill, everybody. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all. Shout out to my kids watching, especially the 4-year-old. Go to bed. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you.